So it seems that Samsung is going to do something with the Galaxy S10 that Apple just was not able to do with the iPhone 10. But like, only because Apple did a thing that Samsung couldn't do first.
Get daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Front Page Tech, of course, show that gives you all the latest tech news from one geek, that's me, to another, that, of course, is you. Happy Monday. Quick thing, there's a link down in the description to my Instagram. I never used Instagram like a ton in the past, but I'm going to start using IGTV. I'm not going to post like the same stuff we post on YouTube because that's lazy. I hate when creators just do that. They just post the same thing on YouTube and then on other platforms. No, I'm going to give you some extra stuff about me, extra time with me. So go follow me over there. That's not enough, is it? There's ice cream there. I'll give you ice cream if you follow me on Instagram. Okay, so story numero uno. Actually, before that, warning, slow news day today, folks. Number one, Apple is working on new things. I know, shocker. Second generation HomePod and some Pro headphones, like Pro Apple headphones. Okay, so there's a few things from a new report from Bloomberg that we should touch on. The first thing, there's a second generation HomePod that's being worked on. Oh, great. If there's two things I would hope for in another HomePod, I would hope for lower price and it works with other things that aren't Tim Cook. So I don't know, maybe let people use Bluetooth, that would be great. Also, apparently they're working on some higher end AirPods. The words higher end mean even more expensive than the current AirPods. Instead of like 160 bucks. Oh, and because you never asked for them, some studio quality, quote unquote, studio quality over-ear headphones that are branded from Apple. Of course, as you know, Apple owns Beats, but this apparently is like not that. So there's a good chance that by early 2019, we have AirPods Pro and some Pro like studio grade over-the-ear headphones. All right, so even though I'm not a huge fan of the HomePod, because it doesn't work with a bunch of stuff and it's really expensive, there's one thing that you can't deny: the HomePod sounds really, really good. So I'm interested in like some Pro line over-the-ear headphones from Apple and maybe even AirPod Pro things. Let's just make sure, Apple, that you announce them when you can actually release them. Don't announce them way early and then say you'll get them sometime next year and then do the thing that you did with AirPower where we don't hear anything else. Also, I'm guessing that they're going to release these Pro things and be like, here you go. They're just normal. And then in a couple months, you will get the Pro update and they become Pro, because that's how we do things now at Apple. We give it to you and then you wait. Okay, if you're still here, here's another Apple story. We've told you about in the past on other episodes that there's problems with the MacBook keyboards, like the new butterfly switch keyboard things. Either some individual keys stop working or like the whole keyboard just doesn't work anymore. There's a huge problem there, but Apple doesn't want to admit it. But they did. I mean, they didn't. They definitely didn't. But they did-ish, kinda. Not at all. Okay, so they've introduced a new keyboard service program. The program itself is a pledge to replace individual keys and, if it is necessary, entire keyboards on certain more recent MacBook models. And they'll do those things for free. You don't gotta pay. Imagine that. But listen, it's definitely totally not because the keyboards don't work and there's problems with them and they keep breaking. It's definitely not that. It's just generosity. Tim Cook was feeling good today. Yes, Apple, I definitely get it. I understand. It's definitely not the newer MacBooks with the keyboard issues, because there are a lot of keyboard issues with the newer MacBooks, and it's definitely not because of all the class action lawsuits. Nobody's actually having any problems. It's just like one of those things like, hey, is your shit broke? Because we will fix it for free. We won't even ask questions, because we always do this and we mean it. We're just really nice lately. We will fix it. Please do not take us to court. We will fix that individual key for free. Hell, we'll fix the whole thing. You want a new MacBook? I don't give a f. All right, now let's talk about Samsung. Did I say that weird? I feel like I said that weird. Anyway, we reported before in this show multiple times. It's been confirmed there will be an in-display fingerprint scanner in the Samsung Galaxy S10. That is a thing, but also it seems they are going to be skipping and ditching the iris scanner sensor things because it's horse shit and doesn't work, easily bypassed, all that stuff. And instead, putting a new technology in there. 3D face scanning technology that we've never seen before. Some might call it Face ID. Samsung is really going hard on this whole 3D facial recognition stuff. Like, they really want it to be perfect when it launches. They've actually been working on this for a while. They are developing it directly with an Israeli 3D tech company called Mantis Vision. And as a result, they've actually told their suppliers not to make any iris scanner hoobly dooblies. And let's be honest, that makes a ton of sense, right? I mean, do you use the iris scanner on your Samsung phones? Because for me, it only kind of worked never. So it looks like the Samsung Galaxy S10 will have like a Face ID-ish technology. They should just call it totally not Face ID. And you'll have that in-display fingerprint scanner. Now remember, this was Apple's original plan as well with the iPhone 10. We reported about this multiple times last year. They wanted a fingerprint scanner within the display, but they just ultimately didn't do it. Either it was too expensive, it was most likely too expensive. If they put it in the phone, it would be even more expensive than it currently is when it launched. Or who knows, maybe they just flat out couldn't do it. Maybe the technology wasn't there. But it's Apple, they probably could have done it, they just didn't. And of course, when they couldn't put it in the phone, they went on stage and went, Face ID, this is the future, definitely, this was the plan all along. And I mean, come on, the pattern is there. At this point, it's obvious that when Apple does stuff, Samsung usually like a tiny little half step behind. They also do it, but hey, they do it. Right? AR emoji, you fucking creepy thing. But you know what? Hey, I can't complain. You know what, Samsung? Thank you. Thank you for not forcing us all to just use the 3D face scanning stuff that you're putting in the phone and giving us a choice. Do you want to use the 3D face stuff? Because that's there. Definitely not Face ID. And also, you can scan your fingerprint. Thank you for at least giving people the choice. Now, if you could only stop the riots in the street when you remove the headphone jack. And that is the show. Hopefully you liked it. You learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you hate my stupid face, hit the dislike button. And of course, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Wow.